No. Okay, Joe, so we had a text message, we had a phone call during the break. We were encouraged. We were basically making the point, hey, Yafu Chu, the senators and representatives, they've got Yafu Chu's name on speed dial. So we had a listener call up and say what?
Yeah, he was just calling in. Hold on. He was just calling in to check to see if the phone number was correct, so that he could put the show's phone number on speed dial, so he can call us whenever he wants to.
Phone number on speed dial. So that's good. So we got a listener out there that put us on speed dial. That's good. So you can always call us, listener. You can put us. Basically, you can call us, leave us voicemails. If you see something, say something, text something. Let us know what's going on across the state. That's what we want. That number 870-275-9799. All right, Joe. So I wanted to cover this topic because I saw this piece. Hang on one second. I saw this piece over here about free speech. It was an opinion editorial. It says, loud and clear, free speech is on a roll. And from the nation's capital to Arkansas's, freedom of speech reaped one victory after another as last week ended and what looked like a new birth of freedom began. The country's president, the irrepressible Donald J. Trump, issued an executive order letting Americans of faith know they need no longer fear being singled out by the Internal Revenue Service for voicing their faith anywhere. Quote, under my administration, the president declared, free speech does not end at the steps of a cathedral or a synagogue or any other house of worship. We are giving our churches their voices back. People of faith, he added, will no longer be targeted, bullied, or silenced anymore. And so that got me thinking, because on Friday was May 5th, it was Cinco de Mayo, and there was an unfortunate event that happened. And I know this is speaking of freedom of speech with our exercise of freedom of religion, but think about it anyway. Freedom of expression in general is under attack in America, especially at our nation's colleges. So they got this clip here from New Hampshire University. And New Hampshire University, there's a guy on Cinco de Mayo, just a normal guy, wearing a baseball cap, carrying his backpack, but he had a poncho on. He had like a multicolored Mexican poncho on. And some woman was triggered. I mean, really triggered by it.
Yeah, she was really upset by this.
Yeah. And so this is what the audio sounds like.
Wearing a poncho. Leggings has nothing to do with anything. I'm asking, are you Mexican?
How's the poncho Mexican? Let's just get that going.
Are you? No, you're not. If you're not Mexican, how is it your holiday?
It's not my holiday.
It's no one's holiday. We're celebrating.
Okay.
Celebrating what? So celebrating what?
Cinco de Mayo.
It's not your holiday, sir.
Stop. I love that's my favorite part of the thing. Sir, it's not your holiday, sir.
So
let's treat him with respect, right? Let's call him sir.
As a person who is Caucasian, is Martin Luther King Day not my holiday?
They would, by this standard, no.
Because, well, I would
even if you were, let's say you helped run your ancestors helped run the Underground Railroad. Nope, Martin Luther King Jr. Day is not your holiday, sir.
See, but I would like to pay respect to one of the greatest civil rights movement leaders of all time.
Yep. Well, it's not your holiday, Joe. You're white, and that's what they're saying, man. They're saying, okay, if you're not Mexican, then you can't celebrate Cinco de Mayo or
can't wear a poncho.
Any of that. Yeah, can't wear a poncho.
That's what they're calling this guy out for, is wearing a poncho.
Yeah, he's wearing, and it's really kind of viral. If you just type in Cinco de Mayo, it comes up, and let's see, where did it come up just now? If you want to actually watch the video yourself, just type in Cinco de Mayo, campus reform, white student accosted for wearing poncho on Cinco de Mayo.
I really want to know if there was someone else on campus that this girl, did this to that was just wearing, a plastic poncho. I wonder if it was raining.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, Cinco de Mayo is a day that celebrates the Mexican Army's victory over France. Okay, and there's unlikely. That's what it's there to celebrate. All right, so, sir, it's not your holiday, sir. Sir, it's not your holiday. All right, you can just feel the moral superiority. Go ahead, Joe. Keep going with this.
That's good for you white people to figure out. No. Cinco de Mayo is not your holiday.
Okay, so white
people celebrate American holidays.
Let's get no, get it.
Stop.
They want to act morally superior.
You hear it? Wow. Back it up a little bit, but wow. That was in response. I don't know if you could hear it because they're all shouting at each other, but the response was like, well, you know, do you celebrate American holidays? And she was like, wow. Like that's somehow offensive, but you're just using the same logic on her. You're using the same level of racism on her.
Yeah.
And I really think that's what this is. It's just like, well, you're a white guy wearing a poncho, so you must be racist.
Apparently, because at this point, if you're white, you're racist in general. Like, there's not even... Most people don't even think twice about it.
Yeah, have you seen that video? Oh, man, I think it was during the Trump election, and there's some guy, and you know, he uses some choice language, but he's a white guy himself. And he looks at another guy and says, "You're a white male." Like, he's on the progressive side. This other guy's a Trump supporter, and he's talking about things, and he just says, "You're a white male." Like, that is, like, argument's over. I brought up the fact that you're a white male, so you don't have, basically,
You have no voice.
you don't have rights. You're a white male. You can't say that, man. Okay, so you're white. You don't have rights. It's very strange. Okay,
I don't remember anywhere in the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, or anywhere in the Constitution does it say that white men don't have rights.
it was written by white men.
And there's the
that was our
irony,
that's their whole thing. Well, that was our base. We started with white people having rights, and now because you know, we take our morality today and want to force it on previous generations, the whole system has to be bad. Because we are now more evolved. Matter of fact, this is what I really think about all this stuff. You see somebody, anybody, white, black, whatever, they're doing something you disagree with, and it triggers you so much that you go up and accost them, you interview them, you try to make them feel bad about themselves. It's so ironic because they are trying to advance. They're in a very fascistic way. They are trying to advance this idea and this notion that they have the moral high ground. You heard a guy even say moral superiority. And yet, all of this is really out of a place where because you have a certain color of the skin, you don't have an opinion. And the reason that's ironic is we are using what we think is moral superiority in spite of itself, because what I actually believe is that if we really logistically boil it all down, one party in this politically correct craziness, if they had a button to push, I think they would just push the button that took the existence away from the other side. I really believe that. It's very ironic to me, but because that's where I see we're going. We're going to a place where, you know, the line of thinking is so fascistic that eventually you get to the point where he won't quit wearing the poncho. He won't quit wearing the poncho. Well, let's just kill everybody that won't quit wearing the poncho. It'll be a lot easier. It'll make me feel better.
Well, let me get it. Let me say something. You said he won't quit wearing the poncho. Well, I can't stop being white. I'm sorry. Like, my skin tone will be that way. I can get tan, but I will still be white.
There's not some sort of reverse Michael Jackson scenario that we could... Of course, then you'd really be racist because you'd be painting yourself, you know, like darker skin or going full blackface.
Exactly.
You can't do that.
Nope.
All right. Yeah. So you're right. You can't. You know, it's crazy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm white. I can't stop being that. That's just who I am.
Yep. Well, maybe you just shouldn't exist then. That's their philosophy. I really think that's their. They wouldn't say that, obviously.
No.
Okay, I don't think they consciously think that. But their line of thinking is what leads to...
If you take it to the extreme, it goes to that point.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. All right, keep going with the audio.
Wow.
No, get out.
They want to act morally superior to you just because
being so insensitive.
Can I please
Stop being so insensitive.
I'd like to talk with you guys.
No,
they're just talking down to us.
We can talk. We can talk.
You're being reasonable, I feel like.
You just so nice looking like a
Let me talk to them.
No, Mike, stop. This is a waste of time.
Yeah.
This is retarded.
I want to make
It's what?
Let's go.
And now we're using the R word.
Stop. Yes. You can take, like, this is the product of taking one issue, and you can now predict their entire worldview. A guy says this is retarded, and she says, oh, what? It's what?
This is what arguments amongst, unfortunately, my generation has come to, where people would have a discussion of ideas, or in this case, an argument, which is not even a discussion of ideas, and you literally get to the point where you berate someone to the point where they say something just because they're really they're just so thrown off balance by this whole scenario. They say something, and then you just jump all over it, and you just capitalize on it, and you just make them look like a horrible human being.
I wish somewhere someone would take videos like this that they're out there, not just based on the Pancho and Cinco de Mayo, but on all these issues. And I wish there was a graduating high school senior. I know most of the graduations have already happened, or they're going to be happening. I wish whoever gives the speech would say, "We got a lot of fun bickering over social justice to do. We got 4 years of getting rid of our white guilt, and we've got 4 years to perfect ourselves, to ascend to this mountaintop of progressive utopia, and everything's going to be great."
And when you walk into your first class in college, remember, check your privilege at the door.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just be so ridiculous, because that's exactly what college is now. You're no longer really debating, the issues that are really important or philosophy. You're now you're actually taking away respect. You're taking away the benefit of the doubt by saying just because you're born, you must have been raised by white parents that are racist, that are prejudiced, and it's really a shame. And matter of fact, I was talking to somebody who was on used to go to Arkansas campus and was in a fraternity, and they were saying, "Oh, you wouldn't believe it. They would have meetings with the fraternity saying you shouldn't dress up like this. Even in Arkansas, this is an acceptable thing." Where we're trying to be so careful about offending someone else. And that is why people rioted when Donald Trump got elected, because they lost for the first time, but they also were so offended as well, and they don't know how to handle disappointment. They don't know how to handle not getting a participation trophy. They don't know how to handle these things. All right, I want to keep going with the audio, because eventually this guy with the poncho, he speaks up for himself, makes some good points.
You need to get a dictionary.
All right, guys.
You shouldn't say them. It's insensitive.
What's the deal? Why do you have a problem with me?
Because the Mexican culture, like a poncho, is like for Mexican people, and like their heritage. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
That's what you're representing.
Yes, they are the people.
Are they the only people to ever wear a poncho?
No, but what I'm saying is, like, it's Cinco de Mayo, right? It's like all related to Mexico, and you're representing them, and you're not representing.
I'm not representing anyone.
You're perpetuating the stereotype that Mexicans drink and wear ponchos for a living. That's what you're doing. And you also have to keep in mind the racial tension that's happening right now, where your president claims that Mexicans only come here, drink, and steal your jobs. So you're perpetuating that idea and the stereotypes that are associated with it. Yes, you are. By wearing this, you're making a statement.
I wore this
last year is not clear. Last year is still. Racism has been here.
Because it's Cinco de Mayo, right? You don't wear this every day.
No.
So then you're not appreciating the culture, you're appropriating it. There's a difference.
I appreciate every culture for being
No, you're not appreciating it.
You can't talk for me. You're wrong.
I'm not talking for you. I'm being honest with you.
You're saying I'm wrong by saying that I don't appreciate other cultures. I do.
The difference between appreciating and appropriating.
Because you're taking advantage.
You're making them a costume. How is that not appropriating something?
What are you talking about?
You're dressing as what stereotypical Mexican would be like instead of appreciating their culture.
And I'm having fun, and it's an
excuse. And celebration includes drinking and dressing like a different kind of person.
Yes.
No, that is not celebrating someone. That's humiliating them. What are you talking about?
I'm not trying to be a different kind of person. I am dressing for fun because I'm having fun.
Why couldn't you just dress like, what's your name? What's your name?
Mike.
Why couldn't you just dress as Mike? Why does Mike have to wear a poncho to celebrate Cinco de Mayo? That's the point.
Mike wears whatever he wants.
That's the point. Why can't Mike just be Mike on Cinco de Mayo?
Exactly right. Stop right there. You fascists.
I got a couple
Mike wears what he wants to wear because he is a free man. That's why Mike wears a poncho. Mind your own business.
I got a few things to say. First off, I love how they automatically assume he voted for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
There's no context.
Well, he's a white guy.
There's no context to suggest that he voted for Donald Trump, but they said your president. They didn't say the president. They said your president. They automatically assumed that he voted for Donald Trump. Second, okay, so if they're going to get all up in arms about him wearing a poncho Cinco de Mayo, then they should really get all up in arms about St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, that's a great point.
Because
but there's not a weird bunch of Irish victims running around trying to victimize themselves. Sorry, I'm sorry. I keep going. I mean, when I say weird, I just mean, this is just not compatible with the concepts of American liberty. That's when I say weird. That's what I mean.
Okay, but still, like, they should get all up in arms about other holidays. Like, okay, so Thanksgiving, are we going to dress up like pilgrims? They're going to get all up in arms about that?
Again, yeah. They should.
Exactly.
They should.
Oh, it's Christmas. Going to dress up like Santa Claus.
Yeah,
I don't dress up like Santa Claus the rest of the year, but I'm going to dress up today.
Mm-hmm.
Get all up in arms about that, please.
Yeah, this is kind of like, in a weird way. This is how. You remember a long time ago? It's still today. PETA. Okay, they don't want you to do anything to animals. They don't want you to eat animals. They don't want you to, and so you could very easily. Now, PETA doesn't do that. They do these other campaigns trying to persuade people to think the way they want them to think. But can you imagine if PETA had an organized effort to every schmo on a curb eating some beef jerky, you go up to them with a camera and say, "Do you know where that meat came from? That's meat. Do you know that was alive? How dare you appropriate that meat into your digestive system? Don't you know what you're doing? You're a murderer." Now, I know there are people like that, but that's essentially what has happened. That's what's. I mean, we have all of these millennial victims, and they are trying to force political correctness, and they want to shame people instead of trying to convince them that, hey man, maybe you shouldn't wear that poncho. It might offend somebody. Now that's still, that he still has a right to wear the poncho. Yep. Get over it.
Yep. On the PETA thing, do you know the spoof name for PETA, the acronym? Like the people who make fun of PETA, you know what it stands for?
I do not.
Purposefully eating tasty animals.
That's that is also the definition of trolling.
Yes.
I would imagine.
Yes.
Yeah, I bet that gets some pretty bad responses out there. All right, well, anyway, I just had to talk about that. I could because I saw the article, Freedom of Speech on the Move. Not at our college campuses, it's not. No, people don't know what it is. They're actually calling for limits to free speech.
I'd say on college campuses, it's not on the move. It's at a screeching halt at this point, and it's probably, if anything, it's in reverse.
Yeah.
It's going backwards.
Yeah, and you almost saw it. The big irony was, when Stephen Colbert, said those things about Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, and then you saw, it was a homosexual reference, and he made, a homosexual act between two men appear in a negative light. And, all the fire Colberts and that sort of thing, that was really ironic that, Stephen Colbert's out there doing the left's bidding. Now, he's actually concerned about Donald Trump in many of the ways we were concerned about Barack Obama, although you could have never you could have never said that about Barack Obama. You would have been thrown off the air. And yet he almost gets thrown off the air because of the left's outrage.
Yeah, because he's a poster child for a lot of different things for the left, but he says one wrong thing, and it gets people all up in arms about it. He's immediately now a social pariah of the left.
Yeah, they're creating what they don't understand is the power structure at the top that benefits from this, that benefits from all of these voters, really. You're setting up such a volatile situation where they only have to cry wolf, they only have to cry victim, and they get this huge support rallying to their cause. You're setting up a powder keg.
Yeah, they don't
to where you could lose, even though you're the Democrat, you're the progressive, you're benefiting from all of this. You could lose control of it like that.
Yeah, they don't actually have to have proof that something's actually wrong or something's been done to them. They just have to be able to cry wolf, and automatically everyone's on their side.
You're listening to the Paul Harrell program. The Liberty Machine rolls on next.